Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good day to honorable panel. I am very happy to have this challenge to give my presentation. Before I start my presentation, let me introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Arief Zahari. I'm from the class NSR 241-5M2. First and foremost, I will share with you my research, and the title name is Influence of Risk Perception and Safety Knowledge towards Compliance of the Safety among SALANG, PULAU TIOMAN scuba divers. For the background of the study, it's review on the existing literature on my research. There are two variables, which is independent variable and dependent variable. From what I put in independent variable, which is risk perception and safety knowledge. For the risk perception, according to Yale 2020, it is a significant determinant of behavior change. It includes the behavior model that confirm the people of level of risk perception that can lead of a certain behavior in health-related situation. For the second one, which is safety knowledge. Safety knowledge is suitable to be parallel with the behavioral intention and perceive the behavioral control as a predictor for a safety practice behavior in the information process of safety element. For the dependent variable, which is compliance to safety, according to Jim Harris and Jeff Merrihew in 2015, it is important of the topic in any organization which to minimize risk to staff and those with service is always high priority. Next is statement of the problem. Statement of the problem is used in research work that outline the problem that had been addressed by a study. For my statement of the problem that I put in this study, according to Ong and Musa 2012, scuba diving is one of the fastest growing marine sports. As you know, as more and more people become diver, appropriate measure to be respond to emergency during diving and the level of safety perception or knowledge various effort should be made to ensure the security of scuba divers. For the second one, according to the Byun-Jun Cho 2019, the predecessor and the current domestic researchers mostly deal with the safety knowledge, safety standard, diving incidents, and the risk perception. However, study on perception of risk diver may face safety-related knowledge or perception of treatment in emergency are still lacking. Next is research objective. Research objective is what we expect to be achieved. Other than that, it is used to express in the term and directly to the client as to the researcher. Research objective may be linked with the hypothesis and used as a purpose in the study. For my research objective, for the first one is to identify the risk perception of SALANG PULAU TIOMAN scuba diver. The second one is to examine the knowledge of the safety and the compliance with the safety rules of SALANG PULAU TIOMAN scuba divers. And the last one is to determine the relationship between the risk perception and the compliance with the safety rules of SALANG PULAU TIOMAN scuba divers. Next is significance of the study. Significance of the study is used as a benefit that can be gained by certain people from this research. Other than that, they can use this paper as a guideline in a related field. For my significance of the study that I put, which is SALANG PULAU TIOMAN scuba divers. As a scuba diver, risk perception on scuba diving is important when how we as individual thinks and feel that the risk that we might face. This is important when a scuba diver alert about the safety precaution and awareness on the underwater coastal reef such as aquatic animals, plants, coral reef, and more. Risk perception on scuba diving can be anything in underwater through the symptoms or health and problem, reducing the risk or minimizing the problem or minimizing the incidents are the best way of life which have high potential life to cover for a prolonged time. Now I will continue for chapter 2 which is literature review. Next is the theory that I need in this study which is social action theory. Before we go further, this theory I use for my research which is influence of risk perception and safety knowledge towards compliance of the safety among SALANG PULAU TIOMAN scuba divers. Social action theory has many applications, but when it comes to risk, this theory stated that the people take risk because of a peer pressure or general community perception that an activity in low risk. For example, a person could be persuaded to engage in unsafe behavior if everyone else doing it or a large community doesn't perceive an action to be unsafe. As a scuba diver, instructor and dive master help us to alert in surrounding while underwater. Other than that, our body system, which is our diver friends, also can help and determine the risk that might be happen in underwater, such as aquatic animal appear, unexpected water current, the weather change outside that we don't know. This can help through the safety guideline and rules in the term of the basic knowledge to avoid it, and is also used to perform the task or activity more safely. These are the conceptual framework between risk perception and the safety knowledge towards compliance of safety among SALANG Pulau Tioman scuba divers. Now I will continue for chapter 3 which is methodology. Next is research design. Research design is the framework of a research method that chose by a research. In my research design, I chose two, which is the first one is survey design and the questionnaire. This study is non-experimental research by using a quantitative research. This research is chosen because it involves a collection and the analysis data by using random surveys. The sample for this study will be the scuba diver in Salang Pulau Tioman. For the sampling, convenient sampling technique is selected in this study. According to Sekaran and Bogi 2003, convenient sampling technique refer to the collection of information from the member of the population who are conveniently to provide it. Other than that, according to the Critchie and Morgan 1970 calculation, the total population in Pulau Tioman which is 179. Therefore, the sample size of the respondent, which is the total, is 199. This question will be given in the form of Google form which through the WhatsApp or Telegram group. Only 50 samples will be selected from the scuba diver in Salang Pulau Tioman. The reason is easy to distribute the questionnaire and to ensure the randomness of the sample. For the instrumentation, the questionnaire is an instrumentation of the research that consists a set of questions to obtain information from the respondent. The questionnaire are divided into 4 sections: Part A, Part B, Part C, and Part D. For the Part A consists of the demographic profile. Part B is consists of the risk perception scale. Part C is consists of the safety knowledge scale. And the last one is part D, is consists of the compliance to safety skills. Other than that, the questionnaire are divided into 4 sections, which is part A, which is demographic profile. Demographic profile consists of the gender, the age, the ethnicity, the origin, the involvement in scuba diving activities, the level of diving certificate, diver level, and the total diving trip. All the answer will give in the frequency and the percent. For the part B, which is risk perception scale, consists of the functional, temporal, and the bodily. For the functional, which is consists of 4 items. Temporal consists of 2 items. Bodily consists of 4 items. And the last one, which is combat alpha, is 0.84. For the part C, which is safety knowledge. Safety knowledge consists of the volume change, which is 3 items. Physical change, which is 2 items. Treatment method, which is 2 items. Knowledge in treatment method, which is 6 items. And the emergency response item, which is 6 items. And the combat alpha is 0.977. For the last one, which is part D, compliance to safety skills, which is the combat alpha is 0.910. Next is data collection procedure. Data collection procedure is a systematic method or process of collecting observation or measurement. Data collection procedure can help the researcher to gain a knowledge. There are 5 steps, which is getting approval by ETO committee. For example, getting approval from the scuba diver in SALANG Pulau TIOMAN to gather the data needed. The second one is seek approval from the headquarters of organization, which is UITM. The third one is brief the respondent about the purpose of the study, which is to identify the risk perception of SALANG Pulau TIOMAN scuba diver. The fourth one is distribute the questionnaire to all respondents in SALANG Pulau TIOMAN scuba diver. The last one is collect the questionnaire after they have finished answering it for evaluate the overall data in SALANG Pulau TIOMAN scuba diver. Next is data analysis. Data analysis is the process of applying statistically and logically technique to describe and evaluate the data. For the first one is to identify the risk perception of SALANG Pulau TIOMAN scuba diver, which is the data analysis is descriptive statistic. It used with the frequency and the percent. The second one of research objective is to examine the knowledge of a safety and compliance of the safety rules of SALANG Pulau TIOMAN scuba diver, which is the data analysis is descriptive statistic. It used with the mean, STD, deviation, and the rank. The last one is to determine the relationship between the risk perception and compliance with safety rules of SALANG Pulau TIOMAN scuba diver, which is the data analysis is a person correlation. That's all from me. Thank you for listening my research presentation. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.